Hello, Angelina. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm fine.
Well, it's really, really nice to speak with you. Um, I'll just do a few introductions first. My name is Iman, and I am one of the team members at EmployUkraine.org. And I am very, very happy to speak with Angelina today, who is one of the great people who've registered on the platform. And you have an amazing story to tell. And I'm very keen to learn a bit more about that story. Um, and so the purpose of this call is just to kind of present that story to other people out there who may be inspired by it. So with that being said, let me just give a very quick summary of what Employ Ukraine does, and we'll go straight on to hearing from you. So Employ Ukraine is a charity that helps map employers who have open job roles and they want to help Ukrainian refugees or displaced Ukrainians with candidates within Ukraine or refugees from Ukraine who are looking for jobs. And everything is free to use. And our only goal is to try and help the next person to find a job, to support their families and to have independent financial support. And it's been amazing to be in touch with Angelina, who's one of those people. So Angelina, tell us a little bit about yourself. What were you doing 6 months ago?
6 months ago, I was just a simple Ukrainian senior year student who was studying international law and having my internship and legal firm and not worrying about the future.
So what were you studying and which university were you studying at?
Well, I was studying in Lviv in Ivan Franko National University of Lviv, and I'm currently a student of this university, but we are studying online. Yeah, so that was international law. It's like international relations faculty, and yeah.
So that takes you up to February, and you are what, a few months away from graduating, or in your last year, or where were you?
Yes, that's my last year, and I was like 3 months away from my graduation.
Okay, and then February starts, and there is some sort of rumors, there is some news, something might be happening. Did you have any feeling going up to the 24th that something was about to happen?
No, I didn't believe in that. And we had several conversations with my dad, and in his childhood, he was talking to his grandmother, and she was always telling like, "Oh, there's gonna be another war," and he was always telling me like, "Okay, there's gonna be another war in Ukraine," but I didn't take it serious because it just sounded like a pretty not 21st century thing. Yeah, but then it happened, and he was the first person who called me and told me like, "Hey, Angelina, the war started."
So he wasn't surprised, but you were a little surprised.
And
So,
no, he was not.
okay, so we get to February 24th. What does that day and the next few days look like for you?
Well, that was kind of like a bad horror movie dream because since you hear the news about the war started, you cannot think as a normal person. You just cannot do anything. And the first few hours, I was just expecting I'm gonna be like under the bomb attack or something. Um, yeah, so since the first alarm started to appear in our town and leave, it was the feeling that you cannot be safe in any place where the windows. So actually, I was always hiding in the bathroom because I felt safer in that place more than in the sleeping room where was a window close to my head, and I was always having this feeling that it's gonna be something bad in that case if I sleep on my bed.
Hmm.
Yeah, so. usually you also cannot sleep. This is like, well, actually, it's pretty good to read about stress during the war, because it's really describing the reality and how the people really felt, because you cannot really sleep, you cannot really eat. It's not like because you are trying to make you not sleeping and not eating, you just naturally don't need it. You
Mm,
don't feel like it at all. And with that feeling, you cannot. I was living for 4 days. Then I decided to eat a little bit, but I still couldn't sleep at nights because I was living alone. And it's like you cannot afford yourself to sleep because you would not hear alarm and you can be bad. Um,
wow.
yeah, so this is how it works.
Wow. So that sounds very traumatic for the first few days. And then presumably at some point, something happened to prompt you to think, okay, I've got to take some action now. So when did that happen and what was the process?
There were two different events happened. The first one, I met up a girl who came from Kharkiv, and I was a host of her for several days, and she was telling me a lot of horrors because she was actually from Donetsk, and she ran away from the war in 2014, and now the war began in every part of Ukraine, and she was pretty upset, and she told me like this war is worse that I saw in Donetsk in 2014. And another event that happened, it was in my hometown with my parents. They had the fighting for 3 days in near Voznesensk, and exactly on the streets of Voznesensk. And that was very traumatic because my parents were calling me, and every time they were telling me goodbye, that was the worst part of it. And you could not help somehow, you could not do anything, and you're just waiting if they will be able to call you again or not, because you don't know what's going on, and nobody gonna tell you the what's gonna happen in the
Hmm.
next 10 minutes or something.
Hmm. Okay, so things are starting to get worse. On what day did you decide to leave?
On the seventh day of war, I decided to leave, and that another friend of mine came from Kharkiv, and she was from Mariupol, and her parents left in Mariupol, so I got another portion of horrors, and that's really was the last thing I could really handle. So I decided that I have to go.
Right. So then you went with your friend, decided like,
Yeah.
did you have any plan, like where you were going to go, what you were going to do, or was it just let's just leave?
I just shared my feelings with my friends from abroad, from the United Kingdom and from Germany, and the friend of a friend of mine wrote to me, and he told me like you can come, and you can live in my mother's house as long as you cannot stay in Ukraine. And literally that was the most important thing, and I'm very grateful to this family that they provided some place to live in. And that's why I decided that I can go, because I know that I literally can sleep somewhere, and it's not going to be the bathroom as I did it in Ukraine. And so since I got in contact with this friend, and she was ready to go to Germany, we decided to come there together. But the worst thing was on the border between Ukraine and Poland, because we were staying there for 15 hours, and it still was winter, February, and it was pretty cold. And you cannot sit there anywhere, so everyone is equally tired,
Hmm.
and this is a very stressful journey. But since we came through a Polish border, I'm very thankful to every volunteer who helped us, because everyone was trying to feed us, everyone was trying to help, to support. We had a free bus from Polish border to Dresden, and we didn't pay any cent. So I'm really thankful to the people who paid for that petrol, because like 9 hours journey might cost a fortune.
Wow. So you took several hours to get to the border, and then 15
Yeah.
hours at the border, and then 9 hours from the border to Dresden. So now you're already, a couple of days traveling without sleep, I presume, or you slept on the bus or something. Now you get to Dresden. What happens there? Do you go to your friend's house?
Yes, my friend's mom came to me with a car, and they took me to the house, and yeah, so I got successfully to the home, and now to the house. Cannot call it home, but yeah, so I just went to sleep.
So that must be a good feeling at least. Okay, so you're safe in Dresden, and next day comes. What's the next thing that happens?
Well, basically, I was started thinking about job
Okay,
because, well, I don't know. I was always having a feeling that I don't need to become a bargain for some other people, so I just should work if I can, and I am grew up enough to do something by my own. So I decided to search the job. In the first week, I found a job which was some help in the restaurant, local restaurant. Well, it was not quite legal, so I'm not going to name the restaurant in terms of safety of this restaurant. Yeah,
so you just
so
found whatever
because
you
I was
could
already,
to get some cash to
yes,
cover so you didn't have to
so,
take money from the government, and you're earning your own money now. But what was that like? I mean, was presumably you're a law graduate, and you are what, effectively a law graduate, and you're working in the bar. Like, my guess is that you were thinking, okay, what's around the next corner?
oh yes, I was thinking that this is kind of not what I was dreaming about, but I still was thankful that I have a place to work, and probably the money to get for some food. And I was not like, okay, have to choose the job because I'm so like a lawyer student.
Mm.
But the next week after, I was kind of not satisfied with working in the bar. I decided to search for something else, because actually that was the job for 1 day a week. So it was not even enough for me to cover
Right.
some expenses. So I started searching for other opportunities, and I got some information about EmployUkraine from my friend who shared it on his Facebook page. And then I registered on EmployUkraine, and I filled the form. I uploaded my CV, and I started searching for something else.
And how long did that take?
Um,
Like, what was that process like?
and that was that was pretty short. I mean, I filled the form for like probably less than an hour, pretty fast. And I was searching for jobs like for 3 days or 4 days. And then I received a letter from my current employee who was invited for me to interview. And I was feeling that I was very lucky because, yeah, that's pretty fast.
Wow. Okay. So you applied for a few jobs, and someone got back to you very
Yeah.
soon. They asked you for an interview. Then what happened? So you had the interview, and how did that go?
Well, that was good because I matched their expectation for this job of marketing executive. Still not a lawyer, but this is kind of my second passion. So I had some previous experience in working with marketing, and that was pretty interesting for me to work in this field. So yes, after the interview, they invited for me to continue working with them, but like a part-time job. So I still can combine it with my education because I need to finish my university.
Right. So, okay, on day one you registered. How many days later you had the actual contract?
Well, the actual contract probably in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, but you had the offer of the job on what, day four, day five?
Day four.
Day four, and then 1 week later the official contract was in,
Yeah.
and you started working immediately.
Well, yeah, I started working on the next Monday after I signed the contract. And now it's been a third week of me being a part of the Thought LDR team. Yeah.
Great. So tell us a little bit more about the company who hired you.
Yeah, so Thought LDR is a London-based company which provides marketing services to different firms, especially the technical and everything according to technologies and um, internet
Great.
and blockchain. So this is kind of what I'm interested about. Yeah, and so the team is very friendly, family-like. So we don't have a huge team of hundreds of people, but still we are trying to be productive and provide the best service for our clients.
That's amazing. So now you have a part-time job, you're studying, and what's the next step?
Oh, the next step, which I made, was applying for visa to coming to the UK and basically try to work in the office. Yeah, so having some contact with people, not sitting in the house.
So what was that like? How easy was that process?
Well, the application process was pretty easy because you need just to fill up a form online and then you have to upload the documents online. But the process of waiting is kind of very tiring because I've been waiting for 4 week working weeks and still like did not get a reply. And I was always in touch, and I am in touch with there's all information which I can read about the visa process and how they were given. So actually, the United Kingdom gave 12,000 visas, and 1,200 of them are about sponsorship scheme. And they have another 30,000 in a queue to wait for
Right.
visa.
But until
So
then, you can
I'm,
still work in Germany remotely. And then once you
yeah,
get the visa, then you're going to move to the UK.
yes,
Okay.
that's right.
So basically, fingers crossed to get that application successful as soon as possible. But you're comfortable now in Germany until until you have to leave for a few weeks at least. Can you imagine you'll be there for a little bit longer if you have to?
Well, the family where I'm living in is pretty like a family. And I'm very thankful that they are so warming and they're so supportive. Because it's not easy. We're in touch before the war started, and now they accepted me and it's keeping me for so long.
Mm,
I'm very thankful. So I'm trying to be helpful and not like support them the way I can.
hmm
Yeah, so, but I really believe that I can get independent because it's still not in my home, and I still have to build my future, but build my career,
Yeah.
try to create some home for myself.
Mm,
So that's what I need, and for that independence, I need to get to the United Kingdom and probably to keep working, get more hours of work, and probably rent the flats. I don't want to get the help from the government.
yeah.
That's not what I am trying to achieve, but I want to work and to get my salary to basically cover all my needs.
Mm, good for you. So the final thing I'll ask is, do you have, from your experience, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share to Ukrainian refugees, and also to any companies out there who may be thinking about uh, posting a role on the platform to hire a refugee? So yeah, to those two groups of people. So what would you say to Ukrainian refugees? It doesn't have to be about the platform. It could be anything.
Yeah, so what I want to say to Ukrainian refugees is that they have to keep being motivated and they should not give up. It's pretty simple things. I think that everybody could tell. But yeah, so you should be confident about what you're posting on the page. So you should really take it serious. Not like, okay, I'm gonna fill it as fast as I can and don't care about what I'm written there. So you just need to really put an effort to providing the best resume and information on the platform, so the employees can really see that you are hardworking and very accurate person, so they can really get you and be proud of having you as a part of the team.
Thanks. And
And
what
for
about to the
employees,
employer? Yeah.
yes, for the employers, I want to say that well, Ukrainians are hardworking, open people, so I think that it's very good to have them in a team. And I think you also need to search through the website and maybe find really the best matching person by yourself, not just by waiting and reading the hundreds of different applications. So you can choose your own way how you want to find the person you want to work with. But this is a great opportunity to find a really good professional person who will stay in your team and keep making your company better and growing and and glowing.
Great. Growing and glowing. Perfect. Well, first of all, just thank you very much for sharing that with us. Difficult time of your life, and you're very open. So I really hope that your story is an inspiration for other people as well. And thank you very much for participating on our platform. I'm very glad you got some benefit from it, and really look forward to staying in touch with you as you continue on your new job, and hopefully get that visa through soon. So thanks again for your
Thank
time, and
you,
speak to you
and
soon.
thank you for you to create that platform, because it's just like you're volunteers and you spend so much time on creating something like that. And really, like, it was my pleasure to respond to the questionnaire and to help you to share my story, because it's just really incredible that you've done to Ukrainians.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, we'll end it here. So speak to you soon. Bye bye now.